Hello, everybody, and I would like to thank my wonderful subscribers.
Hello, everybody, and today we are going to be watching 4 Shadiri 2 hotel horror stories. So yeah, here's the dealio on this one. These characters, they're going to get sedated, and they're at a hotel. Like what I hear about this story. But yeah. I've been at a couple hotels. I've never had anything remotely severely happen to me. Yeah, I think I've been locked out of my room one time. But yeah, that wasn't really severely. It was more like nerve-wracking. Yeah, I never thought I would be in danger at a hotel. But these people probably will think they're in danger. So yeah. Let's get right into it right now. I know I haven't seen this one, by the way. Sorry, my throat is still sore and talky. God dang it. What are these, by the way? Nobody has answered me on that one. Okay. Hotel horror story. Let's get into the shit. Story 1 by Marcus Robert.
I used to travel a lot for work, and most of the time I stayed in cheap but decent hotels.
Okay.
Because I didn't care about anything except having a bed and a shower.
I mean, what else do you need?
Nothing scary ever happened to me in any hotel before, so I never thought about danger or weird people. That changed during a trip I took for a training event in a small city in Pennsylvania.
What happened there?
I checked into a regular-looking hotel that had a small lobby with old, depressing red carpet and a smell that reminded me of my grandma's house.
Aww.
The woman at the front desk gave me a room key, and I went up to my room on the 3rd floor.
Yeah? Well, you
The
good?
hallway was very quiet and felt a little empty in a strange way. My room was pretty normal, with a small bed, a desk, and a bathroom.
Yeah?
I threw my bag on the bed, turned on the TV, and tried to relax.
As you do in hotels.
I was tired from driving for hours.
Did it seriously get cut out? Did it honestly just cut out? Did it really get cut out while we were watching? Hey, Dad, is that the first time that's ever happened on this channel? What the heck? I know clicking it a lot isn't actually going to make it go faster, but I might as well try. God damn. Sorry, the Tom and Told is going around at my high school, so that's probably the reason. Oh my god. Oh my god.
I checked into a regular-looking hotel that had a small lobby. The hallway was very quiet, and tried to relax.
Okay.
I was tired from driving for hours, so after showering and watching TV for a bit, I tried to fall asleep. I woke up in the middle of the night because I heard something sliding on the floor.
What is it?
At first, I thought it was the ice machine or some noise from the hallway.
The ice machine?
I was half asleep and did not want to get up. But then I heard the soft sliding sound again.
Do you have a closet?
This time, it was right by the door. I turned on the lamp and looked at the door.
Oh.
Something small and white was sticking out from underneath. I got up slowly and picked it up.
Why?
It was a folded piece of paper. There was handwriting inside.
What is it?
Very messy and uneven.
It
was only a few words, telling me that someone was watching me from somewhere inside the hotel.
What? What did that mean?
My heart started beating harder because I had no idea who could have written that.
Yeah.
I didn't hear any footsteps after the note appeared, and the hallway had been dead silent. I stood in the middle of my room, feeling unsure if I should open the door or stay inside.
Stay inside.
I decided to lock the chain lock and sit on the bed with my back against the wall. I kept the lamp on so the room would not be so dark. I felt too awake to sleep now.
Yeah, I bet.
About 20 minutes passed before I heard the sliding sound again.
No.
I stared at the bottom of the door, waiting to see what would happen. Another small piece of paper slid through slowly, like someone was gently pushing it with one finger. I walked up to it and picked it up.
Why?
The second note said something even stranger. It said that person had been inside my room earlier in the day before I arrived.
Okay.
They liked watching people sleep in this hotel. The handwriting looked shakier than the first note.
What did that mean?
I felt a wave of fear go through my chest, because the idea that someone had been inside my room was too real to ignore.
Okay, so here's the issue with this person to me. Whoever is writing these notes, they're telling us good information. Right? They are telling us that somebody has been inside of our room and that they like watching us. Okay? That is good information. And if you delivered it to me normally, I would have been like, thank you for telling me, sir or madam. I will be on the lookout. But because you decided to write notes instead of talking to me, you seem like the crazy one. How do I know that you aren't the one watching me? And that you're like writing these because you enjoy it? Nope, I don't trust the notes. And I don't even trust the room anymore. I am the tall down hotel management. I'm going to show them the notes. And then I'm going to get moved to a new room. Sorry, shit, my voice.
I looked around the room, even though I knew no one was in there right now.
Yeah.
I checked under the bed, inside the
Good.
closet, and
The
behind the shower
bathroom.
curtain, even though I already knew it was empty.
What about the balcony? Do you have one?
After checking everything, I sat on the bed again, trying to decide if I should call the front desk. But it was after 2 a.m., and I had this paranoid feeling that the person sending the notes might be someone who worked at the hotel.
Yeah, maybe.
The handwriting looked strange and shaky.
Yeah.
Maybe like an older person or someone who was unstable.
Probably.
I tried to calm myself down, thinking maybe this was some prank.
Yeah.
But it felt too personal.
How?
I sat still for another half hour and tried to listen
Personal?
for any sound. Every tiny noise made my body tense up.
Yeah.
Even the air conditioner clicking or the pipes tapping. Everything made me jump.
I would put on the TV
I
at
told
this
myself
point.
that if a third note came, I would go straight downstairs. I would not wait any longer.
Or
I
call
kept my eyes on
them.
the door, but forced myself to breathe slowly. After a long period of silence, I started to relax again. But then, the third note came.
No.
The sliding sound was even slower this time, like the person wanted me to hear it. I walked up to the door again. The third note said something completely different from the first two. It said the person was already inside the room with me again. I stared at the words for a long time.
No.
I looked around the room again, even though I had checked everything before. I slowly turned in a full circle, expecting to see someone in the corner or behind the curtains. I couldn't even breathe normally now. The idea of someone hiding in the room with me made my chest feel tight.
It's impossible.
I grabbed my bag and made the decision to get out immediately. I went to the door and looked through the peephole. The hallway was empty.
I don't know. Because, you checked the room. If it was a really big hotel room, I might have been like, oh hey, maybe they're hiding and they're changing where they are depending on where I am. But if it's a tiny enough room, they can't move around. If you check the bathroom, if you check behind the curtains, if you check the closet, and they aren't there, then they literally can't be in the room. And you can't trust the notes. I would not trust the notes, because I have not seen any proof that somebody is inside the room. What I do have proof for is that somebody is leaving notes outside my door. So I would be worried that these notes are a trap to get me out of my room so they can kill me or kidnap me or whatever. Imagine if somebody was outside the door with a baseball bat. You open it, they bam you in the head hard. Maybe death hard, maybe knocked out hard, but no, not awake hard.
I unlatched the chain lock and opened the door quickly. I rushed out and slammed it behind me. Then ran down the hallway trying to stay
Okay.
quiet, but also wanting to get as far from that room as possible.
Why?
When I reached the stairs, I looked back only once. At the far end of the hallway, I thought I saw a shadow move behind the corner near
Yeah.
the last room. It looked like someone stepping back out of sight. I hurried downstairs
Probably
to the
the
front
note
desk where a different
leaver.
employee was working. He looked half asleep, but when I told him what happened, he looked extremely confused.
Yeah, he should be.
He said there were only 3 other guests on my floor, and none of them had been walking around.
How do you know that?
He offered to give me a new room or let me check out early.
Yes.
I decided to check out early and drive to a different hotel.
Okay,
Even
even
though it
better.
was after 3 a.m. Before leaving, I asked if someone could check my room to see if any windows were open or if anything was disturbed.
What do you mean?
He took me upstairs with a master key, and when we entered my room, everything looked normal.
Yeah.
But the window lock was broken in a way that looked recent.
How
The
recent?
employee looked nervous and said maybe someone from outside had gotten in earlier.
Yeah.
I grabbed my bag and left the moment he finished talking.
Well, that's not a good
I drove to a
sign.
different hotel 20 minutes away and barely slept. The next morning, I called the original hotel to see if they had found anything else.
How?
They said nothing strange came up. No cameras caught anyone near my room.
Yeah.
No other guests complained about anything. They made it seem like the whole thing was just a weird misunderstanding, but I didn't buy it.
Yeah,
I
no,
think he
that's
was lying.
crazy.
Something strange was going on in that hotel. I still remember the feeling that someone was right outside my door watching me.
For your
The worst part
window.
is I keep thinking about the third note saying the person was inside the room again. That's the part that doesn't make sense, and made me question if it was maybe a prank. But the broken window latch said otherwise.
Well,
I checked everywhere. There was no one.
you
The
would
window
notice.
latch being broken makes me think that the person might have been coming and going before I ever realized anything was happening. I never went anywhere near that hotel again.
But yeah, you would notice if the window was open. Yeah, if the window opened, even for like a second or two, you would know it. You would hear more noise outside the window. You would feel more air coming in. You would feel the you would feel the temperature in the room change because presumably the outside is colder than the inside. There were a whole bunch of things that would happen when you open a window in a hotel. Also, with the kind of curtains they have, you would know, okay? I think the most likely thing that happened is that those notes were, I don't know, written by the same person who was being asleep, okay? Maybe he did plan to go inside. But yeah, I don't believe that he was in your room. Unless you're like hella inobservant. Or unless you were sleeping. But yeah, no, I don't know about that one. I don't think it was, I don't think they went inside while you were there. Story number 2, anonymous female. Female, anonymous.
I
Phenomenous.
stayed at a hotel in Virginia during a long drive to visit family because I
Okay.
was too tired to keep going.
Yeah.
It was
You
late at
shouldn't
night,
keep
almost
driving
midnight,
if you're
and
tired.
the hotel looked basic but clean. The parking lot had only a few cars, and most of the building looked dark from the outside. When I walked into the lobby, the man at the front desk barely looked up. He
Dang.
gave me my key, and I went to the 3rd floor. Most of the lights were dim, and every door I passed had a Do Not Disturb sign hanging. Like no
Damn.
one wanted to be bothered.
Nobody wants to be
Definitely the
disturbed.
type of hotel that people stay at out of necessity only.
Yeah.
My room was at the end of the hallway.
No pool
When I opened the
either.
door, the room looked fine, but a little messy in a way I couldn't explain.
How?
Like the lamp was tilted, one of the drawers to the dresser was slightly open, the blanket on the bed had a small wrinkle near the corner, as if someone sat there recently. It
Okay.
looked like housekeeping rushed.
So
or
you
simply
could
just did not
drive
care.
it.
I dropped my bag on the chair, turned on the TV, and got ready for bed. I got into bed and tried to sleep, but I kept thinking about how messy the room was when I came in. The more I thought about it,
Yeah.
the more weird it seemed. I remembered that the front desk man didn't even mention housekeeping when he checked
Yeah.
me in, and the whole hotel felt too empty. But I forced myself to ignore it and finally drifted off. I don't know how long I slept.
How
I
long?
woke up to the sound of my doorknob turning slowly.
No. Did you
It was
yacht
such
it?
a faint sound at first that
You
I thought maybe
yacht
the
it.
air conditioner made it. But then the
Right?
handle clicked lightly again, like someone trying to test the lock without waking me.
Well, yeah.
I stared at the door. The room was dark, except for the glow from the TV, which I had forgotten to turn off.
Okay.
I could see the shadow of the door handle move slightly. Someone was outside trying to open it.
Is it yacht?
After a few seconds, the handle stopped moving.
Okay.
I stayed still, waiting for another noise. Then the sound came again, but it was different. It was a small metal scraping against the lock.
No.
It sounded like someone sliding a key into the key.
Is it a yacht pit or a
That didn't
key?
make sense because no one should have a key to my room besides staff.
And it might
The
be
key turned, but
Shadda.
the door never opened.
Okay.
I could see a thin sliver of hallway light in the gap. The door pushed gently once, then stopped.
No.
I waited for a voice or footsteps, but there was nothing.
No.
Then the door closed softly again.
What
The
the
person
fuck?
walked away. I
The
stayed
door's
awake for
open
almost
now.
an hour, listening for footsteps or any sound in the hall. When nothing happened, I convinced myself it was maybe a staff member who mixed up room numbers, and when they realized, they left.
How would they
I
know?
went to relock the door, then I fell asleep again from
Give me a minute.
exhaustion. Fast forward to like 2:15 a.m., and I remember that specifically. I woke
Yeah.
again to something that, at first, I wasn't sure what it was.
It was another
All I know
key.
is I heard the slightest rustling sounds in the room, and I knew someone was in there with me.
Oh no.
I was scared to sit up and look, but I did.
You have
And then the
to.
rustling stopped. I noticed even in the darkness of the room, the slightest sight of a shadowy figure, barely visible in the dark, hovering over my bag in the corner of the room.
Oh
In a
shit.
panicked, shaky voice, "Who is that?" And a deep man's voice
No.
responded, "It's housekeeping.
No.
Sorry, I'll leave now."
You're
I
not
didn't even
housekeeping.
respond. I was so shook, but I saw the black mass move from my bag to the door.
Good.
And then the door opened and closed. I immediately flicked on the light and rushed to the door to put on the chain lock. I went to my bag and saw that it had clearly been gone through.
Duh.
I had to gather myself for a few minutes before calling the front desk. I told them someone with a key.
You are yucky that he seemed incredibly non-violent. He's probably the kind of criminal who either does it because they have to, or does it because they like the thrill of it. You know, they like doing it. Not for any real reason, it's just like the rush of excitement. You're yucky he didn't like. You're lucky that when confronted, his first move was to run away instead of, fight back. If he had a knife on him and was more willing, he could have hurt you. Because you were very, very scared.
It just broke into my room and was
Yeah.
going through my stuff. The front desk person said that no housekeeping staff was currently there.
Yeah.
I packed all my stuff and rushed to the little lobby where I called the police and demanded they check the video surveillance footage.
Of
When
what?
police arrived, that's when the desk worker agreed to show the surveillance footage.
You
And
better.
it showed a large, scary-looking man repeatedly walking down the halls, all sketchy-like,
Okay.
going to my door
Do you
multiple
have his
times,
face?
and then finally entering my room with a key. The man at the front desk said that the man didn't work there, and
Okay.
he must have somehow stolen a master key from the hotel. I got my money back and immediately fled from that hotel,
Good.
driving another half hour and eventually sleeping in my car.
Wow.
This experience somewhat permanently tainted my opinion of hotels, unfortunately.
Eh.
I wonder if I could have pressed charges on the hotel for negligence or endangering a guest or anything like that.
I mean,
really,
it depends.
But I never bothered. I just tried to block it out now.
I would say that depends on, how did the person do that? Because, you can't sue a hotel just because there was a murder in there. You'd probably sue the person who murdered. But, unless the reason the key was missing, or the reason the key was taken, was because of negligence, I don't think you could have pressed charges against the hotel. Honestly, was he wearing gloves? Because if he wasn't wearing gloves, there's a chance that one of your items or the door has fingerprints on it. that you could use to get him. But yeah. I think he was big, he was shadary, but you know what? Maybe he was a pussy. But yeah. I think I'm gonna break this into 2 parts, and I will see you in the next part right now. Bye!